Good morning. Good morning to you too. Happy Monday. We're joined today by a couple kitties. We are ready to continue our read aloud. Today we're going to read, I think it's like chapter 24. I think that's where we're at. So, if you will remember, when we left off in our book on Friday, Maria was pretty upset because Tyrabbisaurus Rex, T-Rab, has been hanging out and loving on Ginger stuff and Ginger. She's especially upset, Maria is, because it turns out Tyrabbisaurus Rex crawled into her lap and gave her a bunny kiss and everything. So Maria's pretty upset with Ginger and thinks it's very unfair that the rabbit likes Ginger so much instead of her. So Maria has decided no more Señorita Nice. And today's chapter is from Ginger's point of view. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, Ginger, Mrs. Cabbage says as I enter the classroom. Why aren't you at breakfast, dear? I wanted to ask, would it be okay if I pet T-Rab? I say my words all in a rush so that I can't chicken out. Mrs. Cabbage has a surprised look on her face. Why, Ginger, I didn't think you liked the rabbit. I shrug, not sure what to say. Of course you can pet him. Mrs. Cabbage puts her arm around my shoulders and hugs me tight. She then takes my hand in hers. Come along, dear. She walks me to the cage. She does that a lot. Treats me different. All the teachers do. Ever since my mom died. I could probably ask Mrs. Cabbage for something really important, like not take a big test, and she'd say okay, just because she feels sorry for me. Now T-Rab's a little out of sorts this morning, Mrs. Cabbage says. I think he's mad at us because we didn't let him out once yesterday. Plus, I made sure the cage doors were all securely latched before leaving last night. T-Rab pops his head out of his house. Does he understand? After a minute, he hops out of the house and stands right in front of the cage doors, staring at us. Mrs. Cabbage opens the door, reaches into the cage, and scoops T-Rab out in one quick move. 1 minute he's in the cage, and the next he's in her arms. She's amazing. She faces me and smiles. Go ahead, sweetie, pet him. I reach out and touch his back. He's so soft. I pet him gently, and when he doesn't move, I inch my hand upward. I want to touch his ears. They're so floppy. I lift one ear up, and it's even softer than his fur. I stroke it gently and giggle because it feels funny. T-Rab turns his head and twitches his nose at me. I giggle again because he looks so silly. Then I gently stroke his tiny nose. His whiskers quiver. He's so soft, I say to Mrs. Cabbage. He sure is. Would you like to hold him? I hesitate. Would I? T-Rab nudges my hand with his nose. I giggle and nod my head, quick, before I change my mind. Okay, sweetie, let's go sit on the floor, over here. Mrs. Cabbage leads me to the reading area and has me sit crisscross applesauce on the floor. She settles T-Rab in my lap. I think T-Rab will probably hop away immediately, but instead he paws at my jeans a little, then curls up with his head on my left knee. I stare down at him. He's just lying there, draped across my left leg. I think he fell asleep. I lean over and stare at his face. His eyes are closed. His nose twitches and his whiskers quiver, but he doesn't move. He's asleep. He fell asleep on my lap. I can't believe it. I straighten up and look around the classroom. Mrs. Cavich is busy writing on the front board. The clock says 7:35. The other kids will be here soon. I look back at T-Rab. He's still sleeping. I hesitate, then carefully settle one hand on his back. His back moves up and down as he breathes. I pet him slowly. He doesn't wake up. He just keeps sleeping, and I keep petting him. And I think that maybe, just maybe, T-Rab does like me. Not just a little, but maybe a whole lot, just like Derek said. All right, and that's the end of our chapter today. We will continue with our read aloud tomorrow. I think we'll probably get through a couple chapters tomorrow, and then I actually think we may be finished with this book by the end of the week. We'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I hope you're enjoying the read aloud, and you can find an activity for you on my website, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good afternoon. Bye.